I'd like to call on Mark Abbo to make some remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say, we've got a long agenda today, and the reason for that is because it's year end. There are a lot of things that needed to be done before December 31st for purpose of our CAFR, our Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, and just a lot of cleanup stuff for September 30th and then going into the new year. And I wanted to acknowledge the hard work by so many people in getting this to us. We've got 15 agenda items and 9 addenda items. I was getting emails from Terrence Adams and Mary Carr into the wee hours of the morning over the weekend, and a lot of emails also from Pam's staff, Octavia and Amina, and I know that M&B worked hard also to make sure that this happened. So, before we get started, I just wanted to give a shout out and some acknowledgement to some people that worked really hard to make sure that these matters were addressed while they needed to be addressed before the end of the year. So thank you to all of them.
Thank you to you and your staff, our staff, for working so hard this year. And we're looking forward to the next year. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Chair, this is Pam. Sorry for the interruption, but we didn't read the notice asking if all commissioners were in Wayne County.
Okay, let's go ahead and read it.
Octavia, you want me to? Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated. And I'll just say now, since she already took the role.
Okay.
So if anyone is not in Wayne County, if you could indicate that now, that would be awesome. Thank you.
We're all in Wayne County. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Next item.
Item C, approve the minutes of the December 1st, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Approval. Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
I'm sorry, Chair, who supported and who?
Mareki supported it. Baydoun moved it.
Thank you. Next item, item D, unfinished business. There is none. Moving to item E1 of new business, a communication forwarding a report on the impact of recent Michigan Supreme Court opinion will have on the delinquent tax revolving fund.
Okay. Any questions on that one? Let's go on to item 2. We're going to go down the list and we'll take several of these at once for a vote. Go ahead with item number 2.
Item number 2, communication requesting commission approval of, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-190 certifying revenue in the general fund.
Any discussion on item 2? Go ahead on item 3, please read it in.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-234 certifying revenue in the delinquent tax revolving 2018 fund.
Thank you. Any questions or discussions on item 3? Madam Clerk, please read in item 4.
Requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35-016 certifying revenue in the victim witness fund.
Any discussion on this? Okay, please read in number 5.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35-018 reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Any discussion on this item? Please go ahead and read in number 6.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35-032 reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. I just wanted to let you know on item 6, This is for a new vehicle for the prosecutor. This is for the, to replace one that has a lot of miles on, and this one is used by the investigators. Any question on item 1 through 6?
News, very good news. Unfortunately, the situation on the ground.
I would like to take a motion on items 1 through 6.
So moved.
Commissioner
Support.
Anderson,
So we need to ask someone to mute their mic because I don't know if anyone else is hearing all that feedback, conversations or something going on.
okay. Whoever's talking on the phone, please mute yourself. Okay, could I have a motion on items 1 through 6, please?
Yes, so
Commissioner-
moved. Palomera.
Palomera moves, supported by Commissioner Baydun. Clerk, please call the roll on items 1 through 6.
Commissioner Scott, Commissioner Baker McCormick, Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydun,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Varga.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. I would like to give an excuse for those members who are not currently present. And let's move on to item 7, please.
Item number 7, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35-044, reallocating expenditures in the county road fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on this? Any discussion on item 7? Okay, clerk, please read in item 8.
Item 8, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35-046, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 8? Clerk, please please read in item 9.
Item 9, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35-042, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 9? Thank you all for doing your homework prior to coming to the meeting. Clerk, please read in item 10.
Item 10, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-240, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 10? Please read in item 11.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-241, reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 11? Clerk, please read in item 12.
Item 12, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-242, decertifying revenue in the general fund and decertifying revenue in the 2018A jail debt service fund, reallocating expenditures in the COVID-19 fund, reallocating expenditures in the capital projects fund, and reallocating expenditures in the jail 2018A jail center construction fund.
Okay, item 12, Commissioner Anderson.
Madam Chair, I just wondered if there's someone here that could speak to this item. It appears that it might be, I think I have an idea, but I'll listen. I want to get the explanation of what that is.
Sure. Kevin?
Yep, I'm here. I was just trying to unmute myself. Commissioner Anderson, go ahead with your questions. This is a very complicated budget adjustment. This is one of the more complicated ones that we've done.
Right.
So
It was just not totally clear to me what it was, what this serves, what purpose this is serving. It looks like it's taking CARES dollars and maybe moving them around so we can get some of the expenses of the jail covered by those CARES dollars. But Could you give us an explanation of what that is?
So the first thing this budget adjustment is doing is for lack of a better word, it's certifying the changes that we did, that accounting has done with the CARES funding, in the sense that they've moved expenses from the general fund operations or the county operations into the CARES budget. So we've got a budget, part of the budget adjustment is actually mimicking what we're doing on the actual side in order to get the budget and the actual correct. So for example, if we had eligible CARES costs in the sheriff's office, the way the accounting is working is they're moving those expenses back to the CARES fund. And it reduces the cost in the general fund for the sheriff, if you will. And then, so the other thing we're doing is because those funds are I'm trying to use the right words here. The sheriff now has a reduction in cost. We're taking some of the dollars of that reduction in cost, and we're moving it to the CARES fund. We're moving it to the construction fund, and we're moving it to the capital fund temporarily until those expenses have been decided what we're going to use it for. So basically, we were just shifting dollars around based in the sense that we now have the ability in 2021 to tap some of those costs, tap some of those dollars for future use. We're just storing it for temporarily, if you will.
Okay, haven't we been putting the money aside for the jail project in a different fund? Is this the same thing?
No, this is the same fund. The jail fund, I think we're putting $5 million into the jail construction fund. That's basically in case of money, in case for FF&E, in case there's any overruns. We don't expect any overruns, but it's just being stored there in case there is a problem with that.
Okay, so we will see, will we not, when that money is spent and what is spent on, right?
You will have to approve once this money goes in, to get it out or to use it, it has to go through the commission.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thanks for the explanation.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Anyone else?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Marecki.
thank you. Kevin, so we have to spend this CARES money by December 31st, so this takes care of that then?
Well, yes, the money that we're using is we're spending the money on eligible expenses according to Guidehouse.
Okay.
So Matthew and his group have already done the journal entries on the actual side. These are doing the journal entries on the budget side, so there's no east-west variances. And for that reason, that's why this budget adjustment is doing. And then any residual money that is being moved back to the CARES fund or to the construction funds or the capital fund is basically general fund, general purpose that we will be able to use in the future for hopefully for other, if we need any other CARES programs and things like that.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Abel, do you have any questions or comments? You're okay.
I'm good, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Alrighty, I would like to take a motion on items 7 through 12, please. Commissioner Anderson, do you want to move those items?
Sure.
And Commissioner
Support.
Marecki, support?
Yep.
Please call the roll, Madam Clerk. On items 7 through 12.
Commissioner Scott has requested to be excused. Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested to be excused. Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Badu,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Varga,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Item 13, please.
Item 13, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-236, decertifying revenue and reallocating expenditures in the law enforcement fund.
Okay, any questions, discussions on item 13? Please read in item 14.
Item 14, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-246, decertifying revenue in the COVID-19 fund.
Any discussion on this item? Okay, please read in item 15.
Item 15, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35008, certifying revenue and reallocating expenditures in the general fund.
Thank you. Any discussion on that item? Okay. In that case, I would like to have a motion on items 13 through 15, please.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Baydoun moves, supported by Commissioner Palomera. Please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Scott and Baker McCormick have requested to be excused. Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Varga,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you.
We are now on the addenda. 1 second, please. Is everyone able to see the addenda?
Yes,
Thank you. Item E16 from the addenda, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2021-35025, reallocating expenditures in the general service fund.
already any discussion on item 16? Please read in item 17.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Anderson has.
Yes,
his hand
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes, I just wanted to mention, and I appreciate what staff did. I don't know when they received all these additional items for the addenda, but I didn't see it until this morning. And it actually was only a short time ago. So I'm not prepared until I've had time to take a good look at this, unless we go through these very thoroughly as we go along.
We can do that. Let's discuss item 16. Who would like to take a crack at it? Mark or Mr. Newsome, or who would like to?
Huey, do you want to take a shot at it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you said item 16?
We're gonna go through the addenda because
Right.
we got it late and not everyone had a chance to look at it yet. So we want to make sure that everyone understands what we're voting on.
Perfectly understood. I'm gonna open up the actual budget adjustment itself. Just bear with me, please.
Sure. While you're doing that, I want to tell the members that at 11 o'clock, HHS will be talking about, committee will be talking about the rolling out the vaccines. So if you want to tune in at 11 for that, in case you haven't heard, I wanted to give you the information.
So for item number 16, the main purpose of this is to move money out of personnel related accounts, more specifically personnel fringes and retirement related accounts, as well as some service and contractual, really to move money over to lease IT equipment, I believe. if Carlos Perez, who is the director of IT, were on the call, I would have him walk you through in more detail the specific rationale. But we are moving money. We are moving money into. Hold on one second. Yes, we're moving money into personnel, moving money into fringe benefits, moving money into pension, and moving money into services and contractual services for contractors. And the money is being moved out of other charges, non-capital assets, because we are now no longer using that money. This really is a move of money between appropriation accounts within the 635 fund. There's no increase or decrease of revenue. It's just really just moving money within the different appropriation accounts. The increases come into personnel, fringe benefits, pension, obviously for salaries and wages and fringes, contractual services, operating expenses, as well as rental or leasing of computer equipment. And the decreases happen in other charges and non-capital assets because that money is no longer needed in those accounts. Again, this is 100% within the 635 fund. There's no increase or decrease of revenue.
Huey, correct me if I'm wrong, but in this situation, as in some of the ones that we'll be talking about later, we're really just kind of going through and fixing the budget before the end of the year to make sure that actual spending and budgetary amounts align better so that we're not over budget in any area. And within the department, we're okay. It's just we're realigning certain line items.
That is exactly correct, Mark. You, as usual, you say it better than me. It really is more of making sure that these dollars are in the right line, in the right appropriations, in the right majors, as we get to the end of the fiscal year. So, I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe all of these next ones that are coming up are really a reallocation of appropriation money as opposed to an increase or decrease in revenue. So really, it's just getting the dollars in the right accounts.
So a lot of it is really just budgetary house.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is just budgetary housekeeping.
That is exactly right. And for this particular one, for sure, is budgetary housekeeping, making sure we have the right dollars in the right place within the 635 fund, which of course is our technology fund. No movement out of the technology fund. It's all movement within the technology fund.
Within departments.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Commissioner Anderson, do you have any other questions?
That's fine.
Excuse me, Martha G.
Commissioner Martha G. Scott has joined us.
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt those men, so thank you.
We gave you temporary excuse till now.
Thank you. I appreciate it, you know.
Thank you. Item 17, please.
Item 17, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35-137, reallocating expenditures in the building and ground maintenance fund.
And if I may, Madam Chair, again,
yes.
as Mark was mentioning before, this falls right into what we're talking about here. Within buildings and ground maintenance, we're moving money out of materials and supplies and moving it into contractual services and operating expenses. Again, same department within the same department within the same fund, really putting the dollars in the right appropriations within that fund, so that we, as we hit the end of the fiscal year.
So we're I can't say the word reconciliating all of these accounts.
Reconciling.
Reconciling, that's correct.
Mark, you say it
no,
for
that's
me.
good. Yeah, reconciling. We're reconciling.
Reconciling. There you go. It's like saying aluminum foil. Okay. Any questions on item 17? Moving different funds in the same department to different sub departments or whatever they call them. Okay, item 18, please.
Item 18, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35209, decertifying revenue in the county health fund and reallocating expenditures in the community corrections fund.
Already. Did we get more money from the state for the community corrections, or we're just moving it around because we want to?
What's happening here, Madam Chair, is that we're moving money out of jail medical service. Excuse me. Yeah, what we're doing is instead of we're moving it from jail medical services and moving it into community corrections. So it's just a matter of taking the $101,000 and putting it from one fund into the other. So the transfer from the general fund would have gone to one, and now instead goes to the other.
Okay.
So again, a cleanup because we're paying a contractor out of one fund, out of a certain fund that we should be paying them out of.
Okay. Any discussion on item 18? Okay, let's move on to item 19, please. Madam Clerk.
Item 19, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35244, decertifying revenue and reallocating expenditures in the COVID-19 fund.
Okay, any discussion on that one?
I'm pulling it up there. Any questions? But
Please read in item 20.
Item 20, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35175, certifying revenue in the Community Development Block Grant Fund.
So move, Madam Chair.
And move, but we're going to take all of them all at one time. Thank you. Any questions on item 20? Okay, Commissioner Martha G. Scott moves items 16 through 20. Items 16 through 20. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
I'm sorry, Chair, we didn't get support.
Oh, supported by Commissioner Baydun.
Thank you. Commissioner Scott? Commissioner Scott? Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested an excuse. Commissioner Marecki?
Yes.
Commissioner Baydun?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes.
Can you hear
Vice Chair
me?
Pa- Yes.
Go
Commissioner
ahead,
Scott?
Martha.
Yes, I'm here. I just.
Say yes.
To my phone.
Stand by real close because we're going to be done in a few minutes. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Vice Chair Palomera?
Yes.
And Chair Varga?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
Item 21, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020.
I guess I said it, but I was muted. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I have you.
Can
as
you
a-
hear me now?
Yes, Commissioner Scott, I have you down as a yes vote for items 16 through 20. Moving to item E21, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35206, certifying revenue and decertifying revenue and the 2018A Jail Center Construction Fund.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like a little clearer understanding of this or explanation if I could.
Hi, Commissioner. This is Kevin Haney responding. This budget adjustment is basically decertifying the funds in the construction funds that were certified in the original budget It's just to fix an east-west variance. So we spent about, recollection, we spent about $90 million in the construction fund, and we budgeted like 136 or something like that. So this is decertifying that. It's also correcting an error that was in the original budget. So the $750,000 certification that's part of this budget adjustment is actually fixing the original budget that we noticed, and we're just getting around to fixing it now. So.
Okay, so I see the CUP or the central utility plant is, so that was off the amount of money that we had allocated to that project doing the CUP?
No, actually, we did the CUP after the budget was adopted.
Okay,
And what we're doing here is, if you went down to a business unit level, what we're doing now is just making sure that everything's been, there's no east-west variances. So we spent about $8 million on the CUP itself, 8 and change. And between this budget adjustment and what was originally budgeted, we're just making sure that variance is correct. We knew going into it when we built the budget that we overestimated the costs and the revenues and expenses of what the jail was going to cost us. But we, because the way the construction is, we'd rather have too much money in there than not enough. And one of the things that I said at the beginning of the budget year is that we'll come back and decertify whatever we don't need. And that's what this budget adjustment is doing.
okay, all right. All right, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. Anyone else? Alrighty, let's move on to the next item, please.
Item 22, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35 to 35, reallocating expenditures in the capital projects fund.
Commissioner Marecki, do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, I can read your mind all the way through to
Yeah, I was wondering how you
your
just did
house.
that. Did we buy one of these last year? These X-ray machines? I remember the price being like right around this, and I thought we bought one of these.
Let me take a stab at it. I can't say for sure if we bought one or not. I do know that after conversations with, with Janelle Allen, NHHVS, that we definitely need this one. I can get that. I can do some research and figure out what the buying history is if that's necessary. I don't know, Kevin, if you know or not, but I cannot say for sure.
Just for the MEO.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we budgeted to buy one either last year in 2019 or 2018. I don't know if they ever bought one. This was maybe a second one that they're asking for. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Alrighty, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 23, requesting commission approval of modification 1 to an intergovernmental cooperative purchase agreement with the State of Michigan Department of Technology Management and Debt through the MyDeal Purchasing Cooperative Contract.
Thank you. Any questions on item 23? Next item, please.
One second. Item 24, requesting commission approval of a retroactive memorandum of understanding with the City of Detroit through its Water and Sewage Department.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Anderson.
It's actually on 23. I apologize. This cooperative agreement, I believe it was.
Yes.
Okay, with the state.
Yes.
So is this related to something that we just recently saw that the county was going to be doing? And I know it's like a light detection and ranging files. But I know it seemed as though we had, okay, it looks like this one may be for the water and sewage department. Let's see, okay, I think I got a better understanding of it now, but it's a intergovernmental agreement to partner with the state and the city of Detroit, I think, on the lines. Okay, I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Okay, anyone else?
I remember
I-
something about that before.
Yeah, you're correct. Anyone else on item 23? Okay, or 24? Alrighty, I will take a motion. Commissioner
I will
Baydun,
make a motion. I will make a motion to approve the items
21 through 24,
21 or 24. Yes.
supported by Commissioner Martha
Scott,
G. Scott. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Scott? Commissioner Scott?
yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested an excuse. Commissioner Marecki?
Yes.
Commissioner Baydun?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes,
Anderson?
you can't hear me?
We got you,
Oh,
Commissioner.
what's
We got you.
going on there?
Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Hello?
Commissioner Anderson?
Oh,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera?
Yes.
Chair Varga?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Martha, the way you're coming through, it sounds like you had a
You
good
got
night
me?
last night.
thank you. I don't know what's wrong with my phone.
I wish I could say the same. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We're returning to the agenda for item F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I don't have any. I just want to thank all the committee members for all the hard work that you had put in all year long. And if the public is listening, we get our agendas way in advance or sometimes last minute
Really?
or last minute.
Well, no different than any other night.
And we work through it. We get all the information that we need so we can vote according to how it's proper. So I want to thank everybody. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and happy holidays and a better 2021 than we had 2020. Anybody else has anything under such other matters?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
just quickly, this meeting could have been shorter, and I think I realize the end of the year what we have to do, but it just seems as though we need to establish like a drop dead date before that everything that's expected to be on the agenda can get to committee or our staff and have an opportunity to do the proper vetting of it. And I just think we should have a drop dead date. I mean, all these items I think could have been, I don't know, doesn't appear to be anything that was time sensitive. It just came in that they didn't have time to get to us. And I'm not talking about our staff, and I'm talking about what's coming from the administration. And I just would ask that you consider coming up with, unless it's something that's totally out of control, not within their bailiwick to have to prepare ahead of time before they send it to our committees or our staff. But anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I will take part of the blame because I did say to the executive that if they had anything last minute that they wanted to make sure that we approved in 2020 that they could send to us, and we would work very, very hard to make sure that we would dispose of it so we didn't have to take it into 2021. And so anything that was urgent that needed to be done, I would have liked to have them send it, and they did. So I will take some of the blame for trying to finish off all of 2020 work in this meeting. So I'm sure there will be other things carried over, but we got the most important things done. Thank you, though. Anybody else? And thank you for rearranging your schedule to be here. Next item, please.
Item G, public comments.
Could you please unmute everyone?
Everyone has been unmuted.
Did we have any emails or communications?
I have received no email or communications.
Okay. Anyone in the public listening would like to make a comment? Under public comments, please do so now. Anyone would like to address the Ways and Means Committee from the public? Please do so now. I hear none. Next item.
Item H, adjournment.
So moved. Can you hear me now?
Martha G. Scott moves, supported by Commissioner Palomera. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Now I
See
can
y'all
finally
later.
see myself.